Hey everyone, Ivy League Gaming here, and today we're playing Watcher of Realms. For today's video, well, we have a brand new faction on our hands to discuss. I'm gonna break down all 5, well, technically 7, new heroes for the Supreme Arbiter faction. We have some heavy hitters here, some really interesting heroes, and well, they definitely seem a bit OP. Let's discuss and take a look fully at their kits.
Believers of order, let us purge the remnants of chaos. Let the light in! Pity that your god doesn't care.
Alright, so I am here on the test server to take a proper look at these heroes. We're gonna look at all their kits. There's quite a few here. We have 5 heroes that are new, 2 heroes that are already in game on the global server, but have a little bit of an adjustment and are being added to the Supreme Arbiter faction, so we're gonna discuss that as well. But I am really excited to read through this. So far, I hear that people are, pretty, I don't know, excited but worried. I don't know. It's a little bit of a mix. The heroes sound very OP according to some first impressions. So, of course, that's just reading their kit. We haven't tested everybody yet, but I'm looking forward to this. I'm sure they're coming to Forerunner before Global, but overall, it sounds like a really cool addition to the lore as well. The Supreme Arbiters are kind of the opposing factor to the Chaos Dominion. So that is really, really nice. All right, so Praetus is our legendary lord. So that gives, of course, faction allies a basic attributes increased by 15%. We're going to talk about the lord bonus first. There is no epic lord at the moment, guys, or rare for that matter, or any epics or rares for this faction yet. All right, so everyone, let's see here. This is the big part, right? Let's get to it. Gains 1 divinity every 15 seconds with a cap of 3. You can consume all divinity to cast Lightning of Truth, and Lightning of Truth causes Verdict of Truth, which for every 1 faction ally present deals true damage equal to 100% of the Lord's attack to random enemies 2 times. Verdict of Truth 2, for every 1 faction ally present, deals true damage equal to 150% of the Lord's attack to random enemies 3 times, and inflicts stun for 0.5 seconds. Or the Final Verdict. For every 1 faction ally present, deals true damage equal to 200% of the Lord's attack to random enemies 4 times, inflicts stun for 0.5 seconds. The Sacred Blessing applied along with this effect has an extended duration. So there are multiple that you can cast, multiple effects that can be caused there. I'm so curious of how this is really going to work. We're going to have to understand that by looking at these kits more. But that sounds really insane. Incredible amounts of bonus true damage from this Lord bonus. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's take a look at our legendary Lord, Praetus. All right, so the Lord of the Supreme Arbiters executes judgments on behalf of order, leveraging the light of judgment to eliminate those audacious enough to challenge the order. So he is, let's take a look at his details. They have him marked for continuous damage, true damage, in late game. So he's got 5,200 base attack, only 871 defense, 13,500 or so HP. His cost is 25. And he does have a block of 1. All right, let's see. Crit rate, nothing else boosted there. Everything seems pretty typical. So he is a mage dealing magic damage. So his talent, when eliminating an enemy or casting an ultimate, increases damage, including true damage, by 10% and max HP by 10%, permanently stacking up to 5 times. So in longer battles where you're using your ultimate 5 times or more, it's going to deal 50% extra true damage and increase his max HP by 50% as well. That sounds crazy. Okay, holy moly. All right, so magic attack for the basic attack, which is good to see, deals 100% magic damage to one enemy, as you'd expect. I guess it is a mage. Manual, all right, here's a big ultimate. During the ultimate, increases attack by 30%. If there is only one enemy in range, inflicts 3 stacks of Radiant Erosion. Radiant Erosion deals true damage based on the carrier's defense every 2 seconds, stacking up to 3 stacks. If there are more than one enemy in range, inflicts Chain of Fate and 1 stack of Radiant Erosion on up to 3 enemies in range. So Chain of Fate, when a linked unit receives damage, the other linked units receive true damage equal to 50% of the inflicted damage. So he's not really an AoE mage. He's more of a single target. He only hits up to 3 enemies in range with his ultimate. So keep that in mind. But it sounds like he's going to smack. All right, the other auto here, Eternal Decree, summons 1 Light of Judgment. For each basic attack launched by the hero, Light of Judgment also deals 30% damage to the target. The hero can have up to 5 instances of Light of Judgment at the same time. I don't want to be able to say that properly. So Light of Judgment is a summon that attacks together with its summoner. So he's got to summon... Oh! He can have up to 5 summons. Ooh. Ooh, I'm so curious. I want to see how this skill looks. I want to see all these skill looks. All right, I'm really curious. All right, Faithful Might, passive. During the ultimate, the hero's basic attack deals 40% extra true damage, and Light of Judgment deals 20% extra true damage. Okay, he's going to smack. And then for the sake of Arena, cost reduced by 5. So he is expensive, as I said, at 25 cost. Before Arena, his cost does go down to 20, which is still a bit pricey for Arena when you're trying to place things quick. But it's a really unique kit with these summons, these light summons, and a pretty OP sounding single target type hit. He sounds amazing. He sounds really interesting. Now, where are we going to use him? I mean, obviously you can tell these are just like the Chaos Dominion. These guys are also going to be very arena focused. So I would say Arena and Void Rift, Chapter 9 campaign, that sort of thing, or any of the expert stages, really hard to beat stages of campaign. He should really shine for anywhere you need strong magic damage. This sounds really cool. And obviously he's a lord, so let's take a quick look at the Awakenings. Awakening 1, when basic attack deals damage to targets inflicted with Radiant Erosion, restores 3% rage. Alright, so we got here Awaken 2, attack up 5%, and adds to his Lord enhancement for allies attack by 5%. Awakening 3 enhances his auto skill here. When the number of Light Judgment reaches 5, increases attack by 15%. Awakening 4, Rage Regen Auto +1. And Awakening 5, enhanced. For every 15 strikes received from the Light of Judgment, the target receives 200% extra true damage. Yeah, I mean, I don't see lots of people getting a brand new hero, a brand new legendary lord Awaken 5 anytime soon, but hey, eventually, maybe someday. Alright, let's go on to our next new faction hero. This is Pelagios? Pelagios? Alright, so he summons countless tides to deal considerable true damage, maintaining the order of the sea with an iron fist. He's our, like, okay, let's see if he's gonna be our, yep. I love it, I love it, I love it. Okay, is he our Poseidon? Alright. Summons tides every 12 seconds, dealing 200% true damage to targets in range with a 30% chance to inflict 1 stack of radiant erosion. As time elapses in battle, the damage of the tides will increase gradually and its trigger interval will be shortened. So interesting, yeah, really interesting sounding. Everyone sounds like they're gonna smack, right? With this true damage going on. Another marksman who deals magic damage. But that's his talent. We have AoE attack, control, and true damage for his kit. His base, let's see, the base stats. Max level, 13,000 HP, 3,900 attack, and only 600 defense with a cost of 22. Alright. Let's go. Okay, let's read it. AoE magic attack. Oh, for the basic attack, deals 100% AoE damage to multiple enemies. Alright, I like it. We gotta love a marksman dealing magic damage with an AoE basic attack. That's an interesting combination. A really interesting combination. Let me know what you guys think of that. Woo! Manual, Poseidon's Fury. Hey, I said Poseidon, didn't I? Yep. Ultimate. Attacks one enemy in range, dealing 400% AoE magic damage up to 10 enemies nearby, inflicting 3 stacks of radiant erosion on the main target. And again, radiant erosion deals true damage based on the carrier's defense every 2 seconds, stacking up to 3 stacks. Extra true damage based on defense. That really is interesting. It's cool because it's like you're so used to damage based on attack, but they're actually based on defense. But their defense is so low. No wonder why it's low. Now it makes sense. The defense is so low because they're dealing a shit ton of true damage. You can't have a ton of defense plus all the true damage. They might be a little bit too OP. Alright, Ocean's Mark passive. Poseidon's Fury has a 60% chance to create tidal vortex at the target's location, lasting for 3 seconds. The tidal vortex consistently draws enemies toward its center, dealing 100% AoE magic damage per second. If the enemies are afflicted with a radiant erosion, 1 stack of radiant erosion will be consumed to deal 600% true damage to the enemies. What? No wonder why. Oh my gosh. And the holy crap. Holy moly. It's a little bit confusing because that just says it deals true damage, and nothing in this kit says all of his damage is based on defense. It just, the radiant erosion damage is based on defense. So this tidal vortex sounds like it's based on his attack. So it's a bit of a confusing kit, honestly. Right? Nothing says this is based on defense. Nothing in the kit says based on defense, except for this one debuff is based on defense. I feel like this must just mean attack damage otherwise, except for the radiant erosion. So you'd build him with attack and defense focus? Okay. Tidal barrage. When there are more than 5 enemies in range, there's a 30% chance of casting Poseidon's Fury repeatedly on random enemies. This can be triggered at most 2 consecutive times. If there are more than 10 enemies, the trigger chance is doubled. And reduce cost. Oh, no, not reduce cost. Increase attack in the arena by 15%. So yeah, obviously attack is his main multiplier, except for this radiant erosion, which gives extra 2 damage based on defense. Really, really quirky. Everything sounds so OP when you just read it, though. So definitely gonna be an interesting faction to actually test and get into the game, right? Alright, so Awaken 1, each tide release restores an additional 10% rage. 5% attack added with Awakening 2. Awakening 3 enhances skill. Poseidon's Fury deals damage to 4 more targets. And then Awaken 4 is crit rate plus 8, and Awaken 5 enhances, see, basic attack has a 10% chance to create Tidal Vortex for 4 seconds. Whew, the Tidal Vortex sounds crazy. If the enemies are afflicted with Radiant Erosion, 1 stack of Radiant Erosion will be consumed. It just sounds busted. Okay, these guys sound nutso. Alright, let's go on to our healer, Eunomia. She's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Hey, girl, hey. Beautiful. Alright. So, Eunomia. Let me check her skills or stats first this time. 11,000 base HP, 5,400, almost 5,500 base attack, and 800, almost 900 defense. She's got a bounce, heal, and buffs. All right, and there's her range. Wait, what's her cost? 18. Okay. So Eunomia integrates purifying power by into her holy light, healing allies and blessing them with attack speed increase. Her talent, each healing will bounce an extra 2 times, with each bounce restoring 35% of the original healing amount for an ally. Okay, grants attack-based healing to 1 ally target in range with her basic. Simple. Alright, Holy Light Euphony, when activated, her ultimate here, increases attack speed by 100 and gains attack speed increase to all allies in range, lasting for 20 seconds. The effect becomes permanent after the skill's second activation. And the attack speed increases plus 100. Alright, Holy Illumination. Auto here dispels all debuffs from 3 allies in range every 40 seconds. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I mean, we have been wondering about our need for dispelling of debuffs for a while. There's limited needs for it, but maybe in our new content, like the Immortal Codex, maybe that's gonna have some needs for dispelling of debuffs, I would assume. Alright, and Seraphic Echo. During the effect of Holy Light Euphony, the healing multiplier of the bounced healing is plus 40%. And then for Arena, reduces the hero's cost in Arena by 5, so she'll be just 13 to place. Okay. Sounds pretty good. I mean, a basic attack, boring 1 heal, auto, not that exciting, but the bonus attack speed is pretty cool. The Dispel is probably going to come in handy in other content we're not aware of. But the bouncing healing, I guess for each healing will bounce an extra 2 times. So it's technically her single target attack is really bouncing an extra 2 times. So it's more than a single target attack. A little bit complicated there, but you know how they do it. Alright, let's check her awakenings. Alright, during the effect of Holy Light Euphony, healing will bounce 1 more time. Alright, that's Awakening 1. Awakening 2, healing effect plus 8. Awakening 3, the bounce healing has a 10% chance to dispel all debuffs from allies. The bounced healing. Interesting, a little bonus chance to dispel more debuffs. We're definitely going to add more needs for that, I think. Alright, Rage Regen Auto plus 1. For Awakening 4 and Awakening 5, after casting Holy Illumination, increases the healing multiplier by 50% for 10 seconds. Alright, so she's got a healer with an attack speed buff. Sounds pretty solid, honestly. Let's go on to our next new hero, though. We have Thalin. Thalin is a fighter, dealing magic damage. Alright. Representing the Iron Will of the Supreme Arbiters, Thalin the Ruthless, emissary of Gungnir, will destroy each and every enemy marked by Radiant Erosion without mercy. They're definitely going to have great synergy together. This Radiant Erosion thing has some super OP powers when someone's inflicted with it, like the true damage from our Poseidon character. 600%, no big deal. With that tidal wave, that sounds crazy. Alright, so His stats here, Magic Fighter AoE damage to 20,000 base HP here, 4,300 base attack, and defense 3,500. Okay, he's tanky. And he does have an extra spot of range for his fighting. He has a cost of 20 as well. All right, each basic attack has a chance equivalent to 50% of the current rage percentage to turn into a luminous strike and deal 240% damage up to 5 enemies. That's the talent. All right. Ooh. So his basic attack is a magic damage attack as a fighter. It's good to see more of that. Deals 50% damage up to 5 enemies 2 times. Unerring Hurl. Manual. Throws Gungnir to 1 enemy in an extended range. Oh, it's the name of his blade. Got it. Dealing 560% damage to up to 8 enemies around the target hit. Gungnir, sorry. I was adding an extra syllable. Gungnir will stay at the target location for up to 12 seconds before returning, during which the hero stops attacking, and Gungnir emits a pulse every 2 seconds, dealing 300% damage to up to 8 enemies around and inflicting magic resistance reduction. When the number of blocked enemies reaches a maximum, Gungnir will return immediately. That's a big ol' ultimate to unpack there. Holy moly. All right, magic resistance reduction. Magic resistance minus 20%. Okay. These guys sound crazy. Like, they're so weird. It's like definitely like the Chaos Dominion faction where they're quirky. That's like the word to describe them. But they sound super OP, especially when together. Ruthless Splendor. When receiving direct damage from enemies blocked by the hero, there's a 10% chance to inflict 1 stack of Radiant Erosion on the damage dealer. If the enemy is inflicted with Radiant Erosion, dealing damage to them every time will cost 1 stack of Radiant Erosion and deal extra 80% damage 1 time. And Gungnir's Might. And 10 seconds after Gungnir returns, the hero increases attack by 27% and inflicts stun, which lasts for 0.5 seconds, with a basic attack and luminous strike. And then for Arena, he has increased damage in Arena by 15%. So when it comes to this hero, obviously as a fighter, all of these guys are again made for Arena, but I'm sure you can find some solid use for him as a fighter wherever you're gonna need a fighter. That's pretty interesting. Or like in some areas where we really want more magic damage, like again, Void Rift and Chapter 9 are the best examples of that. I think a magic damage dealer fighter is gonna really come in handy. So I didn't talk about him. Our marksman, is he going to be good for Artifact or Gear Raid 3? That's the question, right? Our marksman dealing magic damage though. I mean, he is part of the Piercer faction as well, so he will pair with our Piercer Lord, so that's really good to see. So yeah, I don't see why not. He should definitely be solid for Gear Raid 3, especially with this crazy extra true damage that he can do. It just sounds insane. Okay. And of course our healer, I mean, she definitely sounds like a great arena healer with the whole attack speed thing. And maybe for the sake of Guild Boss as well. Although usually we're kind of wanting that rage boosting. So unless you really need 2 healers, you'll probably go with a rage booster instead. But she is part of the Watcher faction. All right, and then, oops. He was part of the esotericist faction as well. The Esoteric Order for Thalin. Okay, let's go on to our final new character. Alistair. He's a mage, dealing magic damage. In a situation where maintaining order claimed innocent lives, Alistair clung to his faith and chose self-exile. His unbreakable resolve empowers him to deal immense true damage that crushes the enemy's souls. So for him, we have 1,300 plus base HP, 5,200 base attack, and 900 defense with a cost of 25. So he's expensive. Okay, well, these expensive heroes to place, I don't know. Definitely reduced cost in Arena is not on him. Oh gosh, that's expensive. attack range increased in Arena. His talent, each attack on the same target increases attack speed by 30%, stacking up to 5 times. The effect lasts for 5 seconds. When reaching full stacks, each basic attack deals 1 extra true damage equal to 80% attack. Whew. I wonder how great all these true damage new heroes are gonna do in Guild Boss, too. I mean, think about that, like, especially these single target magic damage dealers. I mean, I guess that's something we're gonna have to see, because it's all about the faction and lord bonuses for that sometimes. But maybe even someone like our last guy, not him, the one with him. He's AoE, so like that's probably not gonna be... This tidal vortex sounds crazy though. If this tidal vortex can happen often, if we really do have Radiant Erosion on the guild boss, then 600% true damage could probably smack, and if you're doing a Piercer comp for guild boss, maybe there's some potential there. I don't know, it's weird though. Okay, sorry, back to Alistair. Each attack on the same target... Alright, we already did. Yeah, he's... This all sounds super interesting. He has a continuous magic attack. Alright, basic attack deals 80% damage to one enemy continuously. Manual ultimate Dawnlight here. Inflicts 3 stacks of Radiant Erosion on up to 10 enemies in range and increases the hero's attack by 25%, lasting for 12 seconds. So he's definitely going to enable the other heroes that are part of his faction that need to have Radiant Erosion before they do extra damage or something like that tidal wave. Alright, Trembling Shatter. When reaching full talent stacks, if the target is inflicted with 3 stacks of Radiant Erosion, basic attack has a 30% chance to deal 1 extra 180% damage. So there, even he does better when there's Radiant Erosion on, like, already on the target. So this reminds me of some other games I play, like where, like, if the hero has Rally, then they do extra damage. It's kind of fun to have that sort of a synergy. When reaching... Oh, that's the one we had. And then, no, different one. When reaching full talent stacks, each basic attacks inflict damage reduction on the target. Damage minus 15%. So they're like a decreased attack is what they mean. And then, yeah, attack range increased in Arena. All right, and our final, let's see, our Awakenings. Awakening 1. When reaching full talent stacks, the basic attack is 15% chance of inflicting 1 stack of Radiant Erosion. So yeah, he's all about this, enabling this Radiant Erosion to be out as much as possible, and he also benefits from extra damage from it. 30% plus attack here for Awakening 2. 30%, what the hell did I just say? Attack plus 300 for the Awakening 2. Awakening 3, Trembling Shatter inflicts vulnerability magic damage on the target. And this one is a 20%. Alright, Rage Regen Auto plus 1 for Awakening 4 and Awakening 5. There's a 50% chance to restore half of the Rage cap upon casting Dawnlight. These are really interesting. They all have their little story as well, guys. Don't forget there's a story here. If you guys are into the lore, it'd probably be pretty fun to check out the story for the Supreme Arbiters. If this video was shorter, I would read through all their stories, but let's just quickly end with a reminder that Velcro and Constance have been added to this faction as well, and Velcro gets a reduced cost in Arena by 5, and Constance, same thing. So there you have it. There is our faction. I'm not going to talk about those kits because, well, they've been in game. You can definitely look them up and analyze how they're going to work. But this is really interesting. I'm not quite sure about this whole Divinity and Sacred Blessing. We have lots to figure out there, but it all sounds pretty busted with a ton of true damage. Really, really hard-hitting sounding magic damage dealing faction, right, guys? Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm looking forward to seeing them properly and actually testing them properly in the future for sure. But I'll kind of be waiting until they're actually coming out in game for everybody until I do that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching our little deep dive into the new faction. and I'll see you in the next video.